Welcome back to the Warriors Den. We've been sitting here on the couch for the last week waiting for you. Luke Duchesne is here with me today.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be back.
Which means you have something special to talk about.
Yeah, apart from your T-shirt, which is like toss, I didn't scribble and eggs. Which he doesn't eat that at all.
Which I'm sure 0% of the chat gets, but it's a reference to the hit '90s TV show Frasier, starring Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, in the '90s, I wasn't speaking English, so I didn't watch Frasier.
Really? So. Is that true?
Yeah.
You've only learned since then? Wow.
Yeah, learned after that.
Congratulations.
I'm a French Canadian. You didn't notice the accent?
I know that.
You noticed the accent? No?
I didn't know that you didn't watch American TV.
Many of our followers were not born in the '90s, so
that's why no one
give them a chance.
So our community is all about memes, and I'm all about old references to old '90s shows that nobody knows. So we balance. Welcome, everybody. It is going to be a short show today. Last week was kind of a mega show. I think we went an hour and a half going through the TU3, as we call it internally, the version 1.14 patch notes. And that patch is, in fact, live now if you're on PS4. We had a little issue on PS4, so we had to make it go live 2 hours earlier.
2 hours earlier?
Yes, I know. So shame,
people,
shame for you guys.
You got it 2 hours earlier. That's so sad.
But everybody else is still getting it as planned at 1 o'clock. So after this show, we'll do a up to 45-minute maintenance to push that out. That includes our live update with all that juicy balance change stuff that we talked about last week.
Yes.
So that is still happening, and if you're on PS4, you're lucky, I guess. But that was not the intention. In fact, I do actually have some known issues to share. I'm not going to read all of them because some of them are very minute, but there were a few that I just wanted to mention, and we'll probably start doing this going forward because now we have a whole person assigned to known issues. So I just was handed a sheet, which is amazing. So hey, here's our...
For me, I have one known issue, and it's Pascal.
Yes, Pascal is an ongoing issue.
He's an ongoing known issue.
He's been broken since launch.
Exactly.
Just a few quick known issues so you guys are aware. So here's one for the Peacekeeper. The dashing thrust does not connect if it's performed after stabbing the opponent 2 times and throwing him in order to fall on the ground. It's a very specific thing, but just something to be aware of. The Centurion, which Roman's in the back of the room crying right now, as he has been all day. His boy's dying. Centurion's moveset still says that the Legion kick stuns, which, as we mentioned last week, is not the case. So we'll update. That's just a text thing. We'll update that in an upcoming patch. And then there's a Kensei. Kensei mains might actually be interested in this particular bug. Kensei can activate Revenge during the out-of-lock dodge roll. He's not supposed to be able to do that. So there you go. And then the only other one couple ones I wanted to share, and this might actually be one for Damien to talk about a little bit when he's out here. One of the things that's coming in the patch is separating the duel and the brawl matchmaking rating. And a side effect of that is the way we show those stats in the hero progression screen. We have to separate that too. So currently, it's only showing the proper duel rating. Correct, Damien? And brawl will be fixed.
But if you want, Damien has a 33 slides presentation.
All about that.
All about that.
And then the only other one I wanted to mention, and this is a big one for a lot of people in the community, the thing where you have new gear and there's an exclamation point telling you new, 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 and for months people have been like, wow, how do I get rid of this? So in the patch, as we mentioned last week, there's a option to toggle, mark everything as clear the new flag for everything, which works. But the issue with it right now, which again we're going to fix, once you do that, it doesn't actually apply until you restart the game. So I can see a lot of people clicking it and then not seeing it work and then yelling at me. So I'm trying to tell you now, you got to restart the game, then those exclamation points go away forever.
So don't yell at Eric, please.
You can. It's fine. It's my job. But anyway, the full known issues you can find, I think, right now on our forums if you go to forondergame.com and go to our forums. So thank you to Dan, the known issues man. Sorry, so that's a bit of business up at the top. And we got some fun things happening this week. There's another special game mode event. You know, we've done things like Realistic Dominion in the past. This week, we're doing a Brawl event playlist with no revenge. So just a slight modifier there. but a bit of a game changer for Brawl. So there will be no revenge in Brawl, and that starts...
so it's like modifier, but if it's 2 against 1 and you don't have any revenge, it can make a big difference in the fighting. Yeah.
So that starts today at 1 p.m., basically after the patch is released. You can start playing that event, and it goes through to the 12th at 8 a.m. And along with that, there's an event order you can participate in for 2,000 steel, and it's the Brawling Vanquisher, which we can put up the graphic right now. This is win as many Brawl matches as you can. It goes from the 6th at 2 to the 9th at 4 p.m. And again, that's for 2,000 steel. So that's cool. That sort of goes alongside the Brawl event. And then the only other thing to mention before we get into your stuff is the new content of the week. And this is a cool one. It's a new effect. It's called the Downpour effect. You can get it for 5,000 steel. So we're going to check it out now with one of Max's wonderful videos.
We're back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Damien,
and if, like, I'm on as a forum, because we couldn't find it. If you know, there's a cartoon character who has, like, her ring pour like that, like in a TV show. I cannot find which one it is. So if anybody knows, like, just put it on the chat. I want to know. We had that conversation before, Rick and I, and we
think it's Peanuts. Which, speaking of, if Frasier is too old for you, Peanuts is another few decades older.
Ask your grandpa.
So, Luke, what are you here to talk about today? You've been on the show before, often to showcase from the vault.
Yeah, but the vault starts to be pretty empty now.
We've emptied out the vault.
I'll try to go back and try to find some old stuff from the vault. But today, like, I came often to talk about the Hero Series this summer and this 1v1 competition that we did leading up to the final event in Burbank in LA in August. So now, after the Hero Series, we sat down and looked at it. It was interesting, but okay, let's do something else. Now for this season, we're going completely different from what we've done during the summer. Exactly. So we were in a 1v1 tournament, open qualification. Now we're going with a 4v4 with captains that we selected. We identified a couple of people who participated in various tournaments since launch. Many of them you saw during the Hero Series. And said, guys, we want you to build a team. And there's 3 in Europe, 3 in North America. Build your team, and there will be qualifiers, and all this will culminate during the Season 4 reveal event on November 11th in Montreal.
Yes.
So we're doing it back home.
We don't have to travel.
Exactly.
That means maybe Damien can finally come to one of these.
Yeah, you find an excuse for sure.
Yeah, he'll be in Paris.
You probably have a run to race or something like. So, but no, the event will be in Montreal, so that's very exciting for us, like being in our hometown to host people here. So we invited those captains. So today, what we're going to do, we are going to present you the 16 captains, and next week we're going to present you their teams.
Cool.
Because now they have to build their teams. And the bet is on in the office because we know obviously who the team captains are to know who will be the best team, and I'm sure there will be a lot of discussions about that. So let's go into the little document, Max, so we can present the team captain. So Season 4 reveal event, November 11th, Montreal. I mentioned that already. So for the team captains, let's start with Clutchmeister Matthew Patrick from the United Kingdom. You probably saw Matthew during the Hero Series. Matthew is the #1 digital athlete in the world, according to him.
Right.
So he's a...
We don't have any other sources on
exactly.
that. Right now,
we check online, but that's the only source. It's himself, so that's very ironic. He won 13 different tournaments, and when we asked him, what's your favorite heroes, he said, I play them all.
Right.
I perfect anything I touch.
Whoa.
So he's very confident,
and
I like that. And when he said, how does he approach a tournament? When he said, when I look at who I am supposed to be playing against, I don't see opponents. All I see are easy targets.
Wow.
So, yeah. Let's talk shit a little bit on the show. So this guy is convinced that he can destroy everybody in this 4v4 tournament.
You also mentioned his Twitch channel.
Correct.
And the reason we're mentioning that, not just to give him a shout out, all these captains have agreed they'll be streaming their matches.
Exactly.
So you can watch all of these qualifier matches as they're happening.
And you should go register to their page because they stream a lot for Honor. So the second one.
Oh.
Okay, I will apology in advance. I will butcher your last name because we don't have an accent on the N in French or even in English. So Jakob Pallen, well known as Alernikin, he is the Hero Series champion from this summer. He won this 1v1. He's been playing in many tournaments since February. He is a Nubushi player.
He is, I would say, he is our big villain of the show.
Yeah, he's,
the community all knows him. They all have very strong thoughts about him. He's a great player, though.
He's a great player, and if you see what he has to say, like, 1v1 was a bit too easy since there was no competition. So I hope for some in 4v4, since I think other teams may have a shot at killing me in 1v4. So we had Clutch, who considers himself the #1 digital athlete in the world.
Yes.
And Lernikin, he also has a high opinion of himself.
Yes, and I think you remember he won the Hero Series event.
Yes.
And I think you'll remember, as Rahman gave him the trophy, he said, I think you'll have to work on a new strategy.
Yeah.
Because as of today's patch, his strategy that won that event would not fly today.
Exactly. So. And now in 4v4, it will be a totally different ball game, and that's what I love about 4v4.
Yep.
Our next captain, the guy with the funniest name, one. I actually have to count number of H. I was putting in the presentation of M. So let's talk about Oscar.
And even here, you can see it's not consistent.
Exactly.
Nobody knows how to spell your name,
exactly.
Oscar. You got to change it.
Yeah, you got to do something, man.
You got to change it.
So he was a Hero Series semifinalist. He has 10 wins online in 1v1. And he plays assassins mostly like Orochi, and he's starting to play a lot of the Peacekeeper.
And that's the really interesting thing I think about Oscar is he is he's very, very good, and he plays with the Orochi, who is commonly perceived in the community as underpowered or broken.
But you know what? Like during the Hero Series, I was secretly cheering for him because he had the Orochi. I was like, oh, that would be so nice to have an Orochi in final. So, and for him, he said he didn't beat Clutch at the Hero Series. And Alernikin now has a stable internet, so he cannot abuse his 100-year-old router anymore. So tournament is pretty much in the bag.
Smiley face, yep.
So
that's what I like about Oscar. He's such a nice guy, and he will shit talk, but still he'll be like, oh, he's so nice. Oh wait, he's talking shit right
Exactly.
now.
So as you can see, our 3 team captains in Europe are all very self-confident, like they have high level of trust in themselves.
Yep.
So we have Alernikin, Clutchmeister, and Juan, aka Oscar. So let's call him Oscar, it will be easier. So 3 great guys that we know well. They all came to Montreal, gave us a bunch of feedback, did participate in a bunch of tournaments. So now let's cross the ocean and to come on our side of the planet. And with Haliasan Cypher from the USA. We all know Cypher pretty well. He's been in over 20 tournament wins, both online and LAN. He was part of the Hero Series. He plays the Raider, the Orochi, and the Shigoki. And when we receive his quote, like I'm about to show, we decided that Cypher is a little bit a Hulk Hogan.
Yes, he's our Hulk Hogan.
Eat your vitamins, kids. Don't do drugs.
We encouraged him to shit talk, and he would not do it.
Exactly. Like I said, no, you need to shit talk a little bit. And what he said is, I'll stick with my guns, keep it professional.
He's the anti-clutch.
So exactly, it's funny. So while in Europe, they're all and like the shit talk. Like we have it now, but the last community workshop we've done a couple of weeks ago, they were shit talking in the room. So
all day.
Exactly. So it's pretty common. But Cypher, super nice. He stayed really, really polite. So Ice Guys, he's actually our international man of mystery.
Yes.
Because I don't have his real name. Country, well, I deducted United States because based on his bio, he's in Texas, but he gave North America. Actually, he said he wrote NA. So like, is it like not available?
Yeah,
or
I thought it was like the
old
wrestling thing, Parts Unknown.
Yeah.
The Undertaker's from Parts Unknown.
So I was like, okay, so but I made an editorial choice to put United States. So
Sure.
Guys, I hope you're not mad at me. So 8 wins. He was in the Euro Series. He didn't make it to the final event in LA. Warden, Gladiator, and Berserker. He was actually the last guy on the fence. So he's a really, really good player. He's been playing
Shaquille O'Neal is his boss. He's on Team NRG.
Shaquille is his boss?
That's Shaq's team.
Man, if he puts his boots up your butt, it must be painful. He has like those giant feet. It must be like, bam! That must be painful. So,
again, he was pretty nice too.
Winning this for the boys and gals that support the kid and bringing glory to the defenders of our beloved Volcano. May the best team win. So you can see like the two approaches, like North American and European are very, and we encourage them to shit talk.
Yep.
And from what I know, I'm curious to see how the rivalry will play between him and Cypher because they played together a lot. In the past couple of months. So that would be very, very interesting. And our last man, David Freeman, a.k.a. Bandana or Banana, like we like to call him. He's played in Fort Glory. Like he played the first Fort Glory tournament during the Open Beta. Second place during the Euro Series. So, like if you look at the roster right now, you have the champion, who's the villain.
Yep.
You have Bandana, who's the second place, so for sure he wants to.
He wants revenge.
He wants revenge, obviously, and I would want revenge too. So he's a big Centurion player, Raider, and Warden. And thankfully, Bandana, he played the game, said, I like guys in Cypher, but we all know who's going to be to the live event. So a little bit of confidence then from him. So that is very interesting.
Absolutely.
So we have our 16 captains. So Cypher, Ice Guys, and Bandana in North America, Clutchmeister, Alernican, and Oscar in Europe. So, but how will that tournament unfold?
I'm really excited too. Like across these 6 captains, we're going to see really good teams.
Yeah.
It sort of splits some of them up. Like we mentioned, Cypher and Skies would often play together, or in the UK, you know, you could see Clutch or Alernican potentially playing together. But now they each are separated and they all have to put together.
Exactly. Now they have to put this. Yeah, and we know like there are a lot of good players and the skill set. Yes, if you're good in 1v1, you can obviously be good in 4v4, but it's the team play is different. So sometimes you need to take a hit for the team. You need to attract players to some place so that your team can catch other areas. So it would be very, very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Every week, like starting next week.
Starting next Saturday.
Next Saturday. And all the team captains are going to stream. So we shared all their Twitch channel. So and we're going to broadcast that widely so people can go and watch those matches and see how they will. And for us, like from now on until it's over, we will cover this tournament every week. Eric and I, like I'm going to be your Jerry the King Lawler. And who will I be? Mean Gene Hockerlund?
Sure.
Can I be Mean
Gorilla
Gene?
Monsoon?
I can't remember him.
You don't remember?
Well, Mean Gene, like he doesn't have any hair, so it's not me. Anyway, so
maybe I'm Mean Gene.
I'm gonna find my little character for myself from wrestling. Big wrestling fan from the 80s and 90s. So, but how will this tournament unfold? So let's go back to the slides to tell you how things will go. So here's the event schedule. Next week, as I mentioned on Thursday, we are going to announce the composition of the 6 teams who's going to play. You know a lot of them, so it will be very interesting. Then for 3 weeks, there'll be the qualifiers and the final event on November 11th. So let's see week 1, for example. So week 1, how it will unfold. So Clutchmeister's team will face Oscar's team, then Oscar with Alernican, then Clutch and Alernican. So 3 matches, same thing for North America, but those matches will be split in 3 Dominion games per matchup. So the moment when Clutch and Oscar will face each other, they play 3 Dominion games. And each time they win a Dominion game, it's 2 points.
Cool.
Like a scoring system. So, like if Clutchmeister versus Oscar, if one of them wins 3 matches, he has 6 points.
Right.
If he wins against his 3 matches, he has 6 points. So they have a maximum of 12 points per week.
And it's not a best of 3. It's all 3.
Exactly.
Need to be
It's not a
played.
best of 3. Every Dominion game is important. So you need to win them. So by doing so, there's like 9 games at stake every week in each territory, many opportunities to score point, to come back. So if you have a bad start, you can come back in the following 2 weeks to try to win. And then exactly for the next 2 weeks, the same thing will happen. As you can see, the order is a bit changing. So everybody will play the first match, the second match, and the third match throughout. How will it work then? The team with the most points will win their spot at the final event. So if you win all your matches, congrats, you're coming to Montreal. November will be tricky. Check weather because it can be snow. We never know in November. That's the. We're not doing that in Montreal.
Especially with the weather this year.
Exactly. We're not doing that in Montreal for the weather for sure. So what if there's a tie?
Right.
If there's a two-way tie, well, we take the two teams, we do a best of 5, and the winner comes to Montreal. If there's a three-way tie, so what we do, we take the scores, the in-game scores. So when you play in Dominion, the cumulative scores of all your matches, all your games, and the top 2, they're going to do a best of 5, and the winner comes to the final. So it is important. The points you do in a match, even if you're losing, you need to score points because those points will be useful in case of a tiebreaker. So it is very, very important to, like, even if you're in a losing situation, to keep scoring points in order for you to make it to the top. So those are the rules for the event. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
I think we have some great team captains. All people have been very involved in the community since the beginning. They've been streaming a lot for Honor. They're great players. We know their skill set. They know the heroes inside out.
Yeah, I think it'll be that. It'll be a combination of showing off, great high-level play, hopefully some high-level strategy.
Yeah.
One thing we know from talking among the community is there are not a lot of teams that have been a consistent team since launch. A lot of people, these guys play in duel a lot. Now they're just moving into 4v4, so I don't know how well thought out their strategies are yet, but they're all really smart guys. They know the games back and forth, so it'll be really interesting to see that. But also the flip side is that they are actually really, you put them together in a room, they're very entertaining.
But it's just that is amazing. Like the last workshop, when like a bunch of them were here, and the previous 2 as well, and even at the Hero Series in Burbank, it's amazing to see the connection with all those guys and the interaction and their level of passion, their level of skill set. It's, for me, I'm super excited. I'm very, very happy that we're gonna do that again, and we're gonna try to talk to them also in the next couple of weeks to get their feedback on their matches and their projections. So, like this segment for the next couple of weeks, you're gonna see me a lot because I'm gonna come and talk about this little tournament of us that we're doing. And so stay tuned. Next week, we're presenting the team. And 2 days after, matches starts. And we're going to broadcast the schedule next week so you can go and watch.
Yeah, and like you said, we'll try to get the guys involved on the show as much as we can too, whether it's via video or Skype or whatever. We'll work on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, I'm excited, and I think that hopefully folks will find that entertaining. They're all they all stream every day anyway, pretty much. So,
that's why I said, like, go. I don't know if anyone can post we can broadcast that after through Twitter or the forums. Their Twitch channel, they are really cool to follow. So.
And I know that we've already had a question, which we always get is, why is this only PC? We always have to make a choice with these events. Our game is multi-platform. It's on 3 platforms. You can't do an event on 3, just logistically, we can't do that. And so if we had qualifiers on 3, but then the finals on 1, someone's getting screwed over. If we do the qualifiers on 1, but the finals on different, I don't know. It just, PC makes it the most consistent. The competitive community on PC has been the most consistent since launch. These guys have been running their own tournaments over and over and over. They're well known, well respected amongst that community. Yes, we know that.
But it doesn't mean we're turning our back on consoles.
Absolutely.
That's very important. Like 10 days ago, last week? Is it last week? I was in New York. Yeah, I was in the Mixer, in my Microsoft Mixer in New York for their tournament. It was on consoles. If you do a console tournament, like, reach out to us, reach out to Eric. Like, we're going to do shout out to you. We're going to promote your tournament. We're going to help you out. It is important for us. It's just that for that event, this summer we did PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. For that specific event, now we're doing it on PC. What will happen after, we don't know. Like right now, we are running this event, but it's like all platforms are important. And it was a pleasure to be in New York and meet all those guys. They are great guys, and exchanging with them on Twitter now. And some of them will visit. Actually, the winners and the semi-finalists, the finalists, will come to Montreal. With the organizer. And I invited them to Montreal because they have great feedback as well to provide.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you know, like when, for instance, when the Reddit did their tournament, it was a multi-platform tournament,
Yeah.
and yes, of course, by far the PS4 had the most entries as far as I remember. So we're very well aware, but
Yep.
we just have to make choices with these sorts of things, and this is a very focused event. This is much more focused
It
than
will
the
be,
Hero Series
yeah,
was.
the length will be.
Yeah, so it's more of a 3-week entertainment-focused kind of thing, but with very competitive, high-level players. So hopefully it'll be really fun and enjoyable for everybody involved, and I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
Yep.
Cool. So thank you, Luke.
Thank you,
I
Mr.
think
Pope.
we are going to bring up our friends Roman and Damien for some quick Q&A, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
All right. Let's do our Q&A.
You're supposed to be on the camera.
They're just doing this to fuck with me. They're just standing behind the camera. Welcome to the show, guys. Come on, welcome. Yes. So our friends on the competitive subreddit did not prepare a thread this week with their burning questions, probably because we haven't answered them in a few weeks. I did my best to answer them online last week, so we do appreciate it when you do that. So please keep it up if you can, because it helps us to. It helps us. Max, what are you doing?
So Roman needs to undress.
Yeah, Max is asking Roman to take his shirt off.
It's today.
I cannot imagine the memes if Roman took his shirt off. It's not going to happen.
Max.
You're weird. You're weird, Max.
Roman, he's waving.
So yes, so what I was saying was I don't have a big pre-prepared list, as I sometimes get a chance to do. But throughout the show, Maddie, not Pascal, Maddie, our new director here, has been pulling questions from the chat. If you have questions, please shout them out now. She'll grab as many as she can, and these guys will answer as many as they can.
So where is Pascal? That's the first question. No?
Pascal is in some sort of a training, I guess. Pascal is just not here, and he may not be here anymore.
Oh.
You killed him?
He may or may not be dead.
Who knows?
I can't say one way or the other, but we welcome Maddie, who's very nice and has been working on For Honor for a long time. So welcome, Maddie. Thank
Welcome,
you.
Maddie.
So be nice to Maddie in the chat, please. We're not ready to start yelling F you to her. She's a very nice person. If you have anger and aggression, shout it at Max. So
Or
welcome,
Pascal.
guys. How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Good. I'm actually really excited for the patch to be released today. It's got a ton of
I
stuff.
tried to hold it as long as I could, but
I saw
apparently
that.
didn't know.
I saw that. You put a 270-hour maintenance.
Yeah, come back in 2 weeks.
Unfortunately, that didn't work out. So your Centurion is being taken down a notch. If you missed those patch notes, we talked about them on the show last week, and they're up online on Reddit on forhonorgame.com/patch notes. So feel free to check those out. But yes, Damien, how are you?
I'm a bit sick.
Oh
but
no!
I'm okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to sit next to him.
Switch.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's dive in. Bob VDV, when are you going to fix the Shigoki glitch where it messes up his animations and he's running sideways? That's fixed in today's patch.
He knows.
He's
Eric
good, no?
knows.
You don't have to focus on me. Just install it.
I know. We should do one where I just have you guys sit here and then I answer all the questions.
Go on, please.
Whether they're true or not, who's to say? Okay. So this one, can we get
I think it's a bit too early to say that.
to the yeah?
Season 4 stuff, it's a bit early.
Oh, the next one
Yeah.
about creating new gear for season 4.
I can speak about the first thing though.
Yeah. Are
'cause
you going
we
to create
haven't
new
done
gear
it.
for season 4?
No, not that one. That's the one I don't want to speak about. Ta-da!
That's the prime of 5 questions.
No, season 4, let's celebrate this patch.
Sure.
We'll see for season 4.
We'll get to season 4
yeah,
when we get there.
exactly.
All right.
But there is the Brawl event question, and I think that's a big one.
Yes.
Why do we do the Brawl playlist without revenge?
Yeah.
It's something that has been asked by many players, and something we want to test. And if it goes well, if people prefer it that way, it could become the default parameter for the Brawl playlist.
Interesting.
So it's more a test for
Yeah.
us. It's like, do you prefer Brawl with revenge or without revenge? Tell
Yeah.
us, give feedback.
I'll be
and then
very
we can
interested
make the switch.
to see those answers myself because I actually don't know. I don't know how the community will lean on that.
Yeah.
Because it's so different from Duel, where you don't want revenge in Duel, because it's pure one-on-one skill. But Brawl is a very different thing, and with the patch that's out today, the new map reworks that we showed last week on the show, so we are encouraging more of the
group fight.
the group fight. So interesting. Please give us your feedback when you start participating in that event, which we mentioned is basically live as soon as the patch is live.
Yep.
Cool.
Trinity Big Dragon, how do you exactly judge which hero nerf, buff, and how do you plan to balance the different heroes? So we already answered a couple of times to that type of question. So basically, how do we decide what hero we want to balance, which hero we want to balance? There's multiple data points that we look at. First, of course, there's community feedback and level of discussion. That's one that we use to know like where there is issues, whether it's perception issues or actual balancing issues. So that's one. Then we have our internal gut feeling about how we play the characters, etc. Also, we have a Discord with the people that participated into our workshops.
Yeah.
So we get to exchange with those guys also, and they provide us feedback. And also, we have a lot of data in terms of win-loss ratio for each hero, and we can extract that data with multiple data points. Like for example, we can select a specific skill bracket or a specific reputation level to only look at people that are actually good with that character and that have been playing that character for a long time, for example, etc. And we look at that not only in Duel, but we also look at that in 4v4 and on PC and on console. So basically, by crossing all of those info, that's how we address the stuff. And yes, sometimes we make some mistake and we overdo it. Sometimes we don't do it enough, and then we have to go gradually. But that's how we proceed. Now, how do we plan to balance the different heroes? As we've been doing, we'll continue that way. As we say, some heroes require more works and some animation reshoot and rework, and that's also in the process.
Cool. Yes. So just to be clear, all those things he said are true. It's not just data. I know the joke is, all they do is they wait for data and they just want data. Of course we do, but we also want all those other things too. And I think that the other thing you mentioned that I see getting overlooked a lot is having to balance different consoles, different play skill levels, different modes. It's crazy. It's a lot of different axes to have to hit all the right sweet spots. So I think people need to keep that in mind when,
No, but it's okay. It's our work, so no problem.
Yeah, it's our work, but also keep in mind. Yes, so speaking of that, we had showed in the past the balance matrix on the show, and people once in a while ask like, "Are you going to show it again?" And
Yeah, we could. Every time we show, it's like, it's bullshit. You're showing us data, but we don't care. Actually, in your data, it says balanced, but in real life, it's okay. Fuck it. But we can definitely show it again. And,
this is the
in
thing with data,
different
though,
teams.
right? Like
It's
it
always
happens
fun.
anywhere. If you follow politics, if you follow economics, if you see data, you can take
exactly.
whatever you want to make arguments against.
The important element with data is the way you analyze it and
Right.
how do you use it as a tool, and not how it's a dogma, it's the truth or not. So that's the thing. It's then, yes, if people are interested in it, we can. Usually it's better by the end of the season because that's the moment where we have had the most matches,
yeah.
etc. So that's where it's the most relevant. But yes, definitely we could plan to for showing it again.
Cool.
Daniel, go.
Mitano, I can answer the Mitanu or
Do it.
Mitano one.
Take it
Anyone
away.
know why you get kicked for having less than 30 FPS? So it's a good question, in fact, because we're adding a new icons, system in dispatch.
Yes.
So now you will be aware before we kick you why we kick you, basically. So if it's latency, if you drop packets, or if you have a low FPS. so you're warned. The reason why specifically, so this is a PC thing when we kick players from because of their frame rate. It's because if your frame rate is too low, you're impacting the whole match for yourself, but also everybody else. So damaging the whole match quality because you're sending your information too late. So then you're delaying everybody, and then it doesn't work. So
Cool.
that's the reason why we kick you if you're too low FPS. So it's better to have a high FPS than amazing graphics if you play on older PCs.
Right. I want to answer one from XDeadZX. Is a good poster I see a lot. Can we get easy anti-cheat updates more frequently? It harms third-party software compatibility pretty badly. So I would love more feedback on that. If you want to create a thread on Reddit, I would like to know more specifics of what software you're trying to use that EAC is currently blocking, and what you use it for, whether you think that we shouldn't be doing that, why shouldn't we be doing that? Because we work with Easy Anti-Cheat pretty closely, and there's for the programs that we do block, they're all for a good reason. Even if you don't use it for nefarious reasons, people can. But I want to hear specifics so we can actually look into if you have specifics that you want to see opened up. We can definitely look into that. So please create a thread or send me a direct message with your specific feedback so I can talk to our anti-cheat guy and look into it for you.
Magnetic freeze. Why hasn't Kensei gotten a buff yet? Isn't Damien a Kensei main?
That would be a very good reason to buff the Kensei. I think it's a very good
But
reason.
the issue, he can't really define what to buff on the Kensei because he's really bad with his Kensei.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Don't wanna
unless
base
you
it on
want to
Damien.
make it
Amazing.
a one-button winner,
That would be cool.
We would not have to rely on that. No, the issue, it's Kensei is part of the character that we've tried multiple times to buff. And now we've defined that, it's not just a matter of
Tweaks.
damage value, or giving a little bit more options or branches from specific move. It requires a little bit more. It requires new moves and that kind of thing. So it's one that is currently being reworked and has a little bit of animation rework also. So that's gonna come. It's not that soon because there's weeks of animation on it.
Yeah, I had as an aside, I had a really cool meeting a couple weeks ago with basically the producer of the fight team. And the fight team isn't just the designers, it's our animators, it's the
Gameplay programmers,
yeah.
FX artists.
And he walked me through, just for my own knowledge of the process. So, for example, with the Kensei, the process for all of the work that needs to be done before we can release it. And it was fascinating, and it was, even for me who works with these guys every day, more than I expected in terms of, like, when you need animation, that means you also need mocap, which means you need human beings to be in a room for hours on end, like recording their bodies doing things. And so there's a lot in that process. So I'm working now to try to create something. It might be a video, I don't know, maybe a dev blog to help you guys understand that whole process too. Because A, I think you, in general, just find it interesting. I know people like behind the scenes for development stuff, but B, to kind of help educate on the process for how For Honor works when you on Reddit say, well, just do this thing, it's simple. How simple is it really in the reality of development on a big game like this? So I want to work on something like that. Hopefully you think that's interesting. If you do, let me know, and I will light a fire under myself.
Any plan, so Yaza, any plan for Nobu compensation? Without the safest move in the game, she falls straight down to mid-tier cesspool. As you say, maybe not. Currently, with the bugs, Nobushi was winning like 60, 70% of the tournaments, something like that in duel. So she was definitely top tier because at a certain skill level, because of the usage of the unlocks, etc.
Is that, I couldn't tell what that question was asking. It's about the use of the unlocks?
Yes,
I see.
that's how I understand it. It's
Okay.
the usage of unlocking the zone attack of the Nobushi. So we'll have to wait to see actually where she stabilized, because before that, yes, she was mid to top. She was definitely not at the bottom of the tier list. So we'll see how it evolves.
Cool. What else do we have?
You want to ask the revenge one, Roman?
What?
Why
Because
do
it-
bros?
Why do people get
Bros
revenge
Q.
in 1v1 situation?
Why isn't
it's-
revenge deactivated in 1v1 situations?
Because it's
The revenge is activated in all 4v4 game mode, and revenge has a decay time, and there's multiple actions that actually feed your revenge. So external attacks and external melee moves and guard breaks have a big impact on your revenge, but also direct attack from your opponent also has an impact on revenge.
But a
So if
small one.
you do a full duel without anybody interfering, revenge should not trigger, and if it's the case, we can look at it. But from our standpoint, it should not trigger in a pure 1v1 situation. But as soon as an enemy gets close, start to throw an attack on the guys that you're fighting on, etc., then his revenge gauge will move fast toward the revenge state. And also, it's possible that you're entering a duel with somebody that had already his revenge somewhere in the mid or up tier because he just killed 2 guys or whatever, and then he gets to trigger it.
Cool.
So no, it's not deactivated in 1v1. It just goes much slower in a 1v1 scenario.
Cool. Damien, we've talked about this one a lot, but it's always worth answering again. Have you considered, Dr. Frankendoodle, have you considered making orders so they're always available rather than refreshing every couple days? There should just be a never-ending pool of orders available, allowing players to play longer and level faster.
So 2 things. First, if you want to take, I know it's not that the question, but if you want to take time to do an order, you don't have to do it within the 2 days. You can keep it and you keep it as long as you want. So you're not forced to do all of them within the 2 days. But I think the question is more on the other side, that if he wants to do more than on the 2 days one. Right now we have daily ones that you can do every day. We have the I wanted to say the side orders because that's
Contract orders.
the dev term, but it's contract orders.
You mean French fries?
Yeah, like French fries.
Side orders. Good.
That's why we didn't call them side orders. So the contract orders, during the weekends they refresh every day. During the weeks it's every 2 days. It's also a way to manage the progression of the players. So we don't want to have a huge difference of progression between players that play, I don't know, 15 hours per day and the ones that play only 1 hour per day. So that's one of the reasons why the system works like that and why orders give so much compared to your daily, to your rewards coming out of from matches. I still think there is room of improvement there for people who want to do more. So we have ideas, nothing to share for the moment, but I still think we have ways to give you more incentive for progression.
Cool. All right. So thank you, gentlemen. It's always good to have you here. Let's see. Next we got some fun stuff coming up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I think so.
That people might be surprised by. But yes, as we mentioned, it's a shorter show today. So that's all for our Q&A section for now.
And play the new patch.
Yes.
Give us feedback and how
Absolutely.
you feel the characters are with all the fixes, etc.
There's a lot of changes there, so maybe there will be a lot of questions next week. So yeah, dig into that. And I think now we will move into Community Corner.
We gotta go.
You gotta
See you
go.
guys.
Have a
They've got a meeting.
Thank you, and
just-
have cool videos.
It's gonna be one of those ones where it's just me on the couch chuckling to myself.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can ask Max to come.
Max can just laugh from us off screen.
Or Maddie.
See you guys.
All right, see ya. Thank you. Thank you. Well, welcome. Welcome again, my friends. Just you and me here. Yes, sure. I'll look into the that camera. Whatever. All right, let's dive into it. We actually have a bunch of clips because I knew it was a shorter show. A lot of them are very short clips, but let's dive in. Our very first one is Tiff92, one of our Reddit moderators, very frequent content creator as well. He's got a GIF called "Well, okay then." Let's roll it. And yes. Good job, Tiff. You got killed by bot pizza. Okay, we don't need to watch it again. he can live with his shame. Okay, from Sereniac on Reddit, or the Major N on YouTube. This is a video. We've shown one of his videos before, where he collects all the Viking lines and translates them. I don't think he actually does the actual translation. I think he gives a shout out in the video of who does it, but he's made a video with all the translations of the revive lines. So let's check that out right now.
Sendum óvinnin til Niflheims í staðinn. Takk fyrir að ná í mig. Ég komin aftur. Þú átt inni greiða hjá mér. Þetta var góð vild. Þetta aldrei gott. Ég komin aftur, þökk sé alföðurnum. Ég nýti mér hvíldina vel. Þetta var fallega gert.
Takk fyrir að ná í mig. Sendum óvininn til Niflheims í staðinn. Ég nýtti mér hvíldina vel. Þetta aldrei gott. Ég komin aftur. Þú átt inni greiða hjá mér.
Ég muna eftir þessu. Tími til að bæta öðru versi við sögu mína. Ég á þér líf mitt að launa. Ég þakka þér fyrir. Þetta stingur alltaf smá. Þú virðist eiga greiða hjá mér. Ég gleymi aldrei skuldum mínum. Þetta var fallegt af þér.
Ái, bakið á mér. Ég þakka þér síðar. Þú átt inni hjá mér. Ég skal borga næst. Vel gert, vinur. Þú virðist hafa bjargað mér.
Þú átt inni hjá mér. Ég skal borga næst. Takk. Vel gert, vinur. Þú átt þakkir skildar. Ég hélt að þú væri dáinn. Ég er víst komin tilbaka. Dái, bakið á mér. Ég þakka þér síðar.
Þú ert greinilega útsendari örlaga minna. Ég þakka þér. Þetta var glæsilega gert. Þetta var drengilegt af þér. Þér verður umbunað fyrir þetta. Drengileg dáð. Ég er tilbúin í bardagan aftur.
So if you speak Japanese, get in touch with Sereniac on Reddit, or the Major N on YouTube. Thanks for that. Always interesting. Cool. We got another GIF. This is a very short GIF from Takita Kepik. This Centurion nerf might be a bit too strong. Just let that roll again. Boy. Poor Centurion. All right. From She on Reddit. When you are too thick for them. Good Shugokiing. She. All right, we've got a GIF from Kensei Radical. I'm sorry, brother. I tried to send you to Valhalla. Let's check it out. I think this is one of at least a couple videos we have this week of not great teamwork. He puts in all the work to kill him, and then the Centurion, of course it's the Centurion, shows up and takes the kill. So nicely not done. Okay, Fallen Pigeon on Reddit. At this this is amazing. At this distance, you'll also have to take the Coriolis effect into account. This is a GIF. Let's check it out. This is an amazing throw here. For Honor is not a ranged game, but you can play it that way. Just again, let's watch this. Not only does he judge the distance perfectly, but the timing, it's just so impressive. I love it. I love it. I could watch that all day. Kyre29, milliseconds matter. Another GIF. This one's a slow one. And pop. It's just pop right through the skull. Great. Sort of. It hits the wall, then his skull pops through the thing. Zadarok on Reddit. Hitbox porn. This is a very bold move here by the Peacekeeper. Taunting the ballista person. I don't know if it was pure luck or if they'd been doing that all day. Okay, The Ultimate Bamboozle by Plato BC. It's not truly a bamboozle for the record. I think our friend Cypher would agree, but it is pretty good. Always watch your back when you're playing on that map and you're in that middle lane there. Okay, this one is Chapman Fleming on YouTube, or Chap Not Your Daddy. This was extremely exhilarating to do. Let's check it out. Unbelievable. That's why we wanted to show the Peacekeeper one first. It's like, oh, that's cool. He dodges one ballista. This dude dodged a bunch while doing the rowing emote. Amazing. Okay, we got another video now. This is a personal request of mine for Max to include because I'm so into Eastern European heavy base. So this is by Mitric the Mighty. My reaction when I meet another Lawbringer. I love it. I love it. If you want a direct line to my heart, make more heavy base mashup videos with our game. This is from another favorite of the show, Zero Crack. This is a bit of a longer video. We did cut it down a little bit, especially because it uses footage from other games that are not Ubisoft games. So if you want to watch the full title, go to his YouTube. But this is still a pretty long one. The Bad Life of Glad.
Old bamboozle! Old bamboozle! NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
Hello, motherfucker.
Never give up on your dreams, Billy! Enemy team is breaking. What are you, a casual?
Today we fight.
I am the king and will not be. You captured Zone A.
Zero crack, always with the good videos. Cool, and now we've got one from Mr. For Honor. He tweeted this at me, so I had to grab it. When you hold your own in a 1v3, but your teammates take it upon themselves to kill you.
Lost Zone C. You captured Zone C. You lost Zone A.
What a great effort and not great teamwork. You guys got to work on your teamwork. That's our second example of bad teamwork on this show. My condolences to Mr. For Honor. Okay, our last video. This is the one that I watched the most this week. It's clearly the best of the week because it killed me. This is from Jerome on YouTube. The conch is hilarious. So good. So good. And good music. Our new director, not Pascal, Maddie, was pointing out that that's from Mario 64. Great, classic. So that is it for the Community Corner this week. Fred, if you want to hit the raffle in the chat, we're raffling off some combat packs, or whatever they are, melee packs, combat packs. We have one last thing. As I mentioned, we do have a new director, Maddie. That's because Pascal has sadly been promoted. So he doesn't have the time for us in the Warriors Den anymore. So Max put together a heart-warming farewell video for him, which we thought we would play on our outro here. So we'll hit the video, we'll do our outro. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week. Check out everything that's in the patch today because it's an amazing patch. A lot to dig into. So we'll see you next week, and let's bid farewell to Pascal. Well, you fucked up, Pascal.
Anything to say
Director
about the Nobushi
Pascal.
kick?
Yes, Pascal, I'll remove my bottle of water. God, F you, Pascal. If there's anything you didn't like in this show, please say F you to Pascal in the chat. He's our director, and he's responsible for everything that was bad in this show. So please tell Pascal to fuck off.
He found it.
He found it.
Thanks to him that we have
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you, Pascal.
Thank you, Pascal. Love you, Pascal.
We have a big screen on which Pascal actually writes comments to us.
Piss off, Pascal. I like that one. Up now. I see it on Pascal's computer. Thank you, Pascal.
So Pascal, make something good today.
Yep.
Good yourself. Just before you start, Pascal, why don't you make yourself useful, please, and throw me this, please?
What is this?
Thank you.
What is
Good
this?
take, Pascal. There.
That's one of the winning rewards. You get to not meet Pascal.
Oh, we love Pascal. It's not nice. Yeah, so Pascal made himself useful for once.
For once.
Yeah.
F you, Pascal. Pascal made these. If you guys love Pascal, give him a shout out. He made these shirts.
Some love you, Pascal.
Apparently,
Let's show this magnificent piece. This is Pascal's doing, actually. And anyway, I just wanted to share it.
good job, Pascal.
Yeah, good job, Pascal.